Today, I'll be talking to Jake Brown, a receiver from James Madison University, and then came here to University of Philly to play football. And also, too, we'll be talking about what most athletes go through, and that's transitioning from being an athlete in college to going out into the real world post your athletic college career. And also, too, it's Kagelvltv, so we might discuss some anime. So let's get started.
So I started playing football. I wasn't good at it. Then going into my senior year, I was like, you know what, like, let me take this seriously. Let me really start, putting some time into it in the off season. And I really went from I think I might have had like 300 receiving yards my junior year, and I had like 1,200. So I ended up I only had one offer going in. I had an offer to Norfolk State, one Division I offer coming out, and I just didn't really want to go there, just for different reasons. And I ended up I was gonna really go D3. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was gonna end up going to like a D3 school, and I'll go here for a year or a JUCO, then try and transfer to D1. I got April. It's not no lie, bro. Like mid-April, I got a Twitter DM from coach of the JMU, and he was like, "Hey, look," because they had just switched staffs. He was on the new staff. He's like, "Hey, I just seen your film. Blah blah blah. You want to come to spring game?" I was like, absolutely. Like, they offered me a walk-on spot. I took it. So I actually ended up walking on at JMU.
Okay.
When I got there, it was 2016. That was the year we won the Natty. It was ridiculous, bro. Like, I redshirted. Like, the talent level, I think they ranked every, Division I team at the end of the year. We got like 24th. Like, it was ridiculous, but I've never played with that much talent, like, my entire life. So it was a rude awakening for me. Like I definitely was not ready going into college. We won the Natty though. Great experience, great team, man. Like the old heads really took me under their wing, showed me the game, told me what I needed to do to get better, because I wasn't a good football player at that time. I really wasn't. I wasn't prepared. 2017, didn't touch the field. We went back to the Natty. I might have played in one game. I don't even think I traveled till midway through the season. Still wasn't, didn't really have the game where I needed to be able to play at that level on the field. But I was getting there. That spring, 2018, I started to blow up, had some real good practices, had a really good spring game. But I was still walked on. I was still winning a scholarship player. And going into that season, I had the best camp out of receivers, but I didn't play at all the first 5 games. So I was real frustrated. I almost quit like twice, bro. I was like, man, this joint is annoying me. Like, because they really don't play walk-ons. Like, you got to be that much better than the guy in front of you to play. Like, and I had a scholarship guy in front of me. But what happened was he got hurt one game. And I ended up, first game I started was 2018, my sophomore year at Villanova. And I remember, bro, it was like a movie, dog. It was like the first 4 passes that drive went straight to me. And I was like, I hadn't had a college catch yet, bro. Like, I ended up starting. They were like, you can get a shot. And so from then on, like, for the next 2 years, I never let it go. And it was, I had so much fun, man. I made it to one more Natty. My senior year, we lost again to Norfolk State. I mean, not Norfolk State, North Dakota State. But, man, I got to play with a lot of great players. I met friends for life. And, like, JMU is really the most fun school ever, bro. It really is. Like, it's like Disneyland, dog. It really is, man.
That's lit. So talk about the transition to the University of Philly,
So I wanted to grad transfer in my last year. I really wanted to go somewhere I could do my master's. And Finland was one of the only schools that I could do that at. And when I hit the portal, I definitely had Division I's. I had it all over the place, D1s to D1s that didn't even give out scholarships, to D2s and stuff like that. So it was all over the place. And, I ended up picking Finley solely because, not solely, but a lot of reasons because I get the master's done. Transition-wise, bro, it's a big difference. Like, JMU is the facilities and stuff, it's basically an FBS school. But Finley has really nice stuff. I would think the main difference is just the size of everything, and just the amount of crap you get. You get all the gear and shit like that at JMU, but it's also like, it's still basically all the same. Like, college football is gonna be the same, bro. Like, you might get more gear here, more fans there and everything, but the core of it is all, man, it's the same. Like, the same things you don't like, the same things you like, same locker room vibes, family atmosphere, coaches, all that's the same, man. As far as play, I told people all the time, like, I was like, the difference isn't as much skill as it is just size and speed. Like, and when I'll say this, like, there's a ton of people on Finley's roster I thought that could have played Division I football, including yourself.
Yeah.
And I told my boys from JMU, they were like, how is it? I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not JMU for sure. It's not Division I football, but I was like, there's a lot of talent out here on this field. I can't even lie. Just maybe a little smaller. I think the biggest thing getting used to is just people cater to you so much in D1. And then when you go D2, people don't really care as much because it's just smaller. So getting over that, and just, it's more of a grind. I feel like it's a little more of a grind, but it's also, you get more freedom. So I did like that a lot about it. They're not as much, coaches aren't as on top of you. Academic advisors are on top of you. You're not as like, you're not always in the spotlight. So that is a little bit nice when it comes to comparing the two. The transition was smooth, man. Like, y'all made it easy, man. Like, I had a great time, dog. I can't even complain.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember you came in. It was like, we got a new receiver, and you. I was like, okay. I know some of the guys like, okay, let's see what he brings to the table. But then you came in, and showed us. So
yeah, man. I mean, it's like, I think the biggest thing that you guys hadn't seen and I think the thing I just didn't know how to do best, like, I'm no freak athlete, that's for sure. Like, I mean, I'm athletic, but I'm not your 6'3" running 4'3" Division I receiver guy. But like, I always prided myself on, moves off the line, route running, and just, my goal is I just want to try and make somebody look silly, man. That's how I play. That's what I like doing, man. It's fun. So, I remember, those first couple of practices was definitely fun. But like I said, man, y'all were no slouches. Like, y'all were definitely no slouches. I just, coming from that, from school like JMU and playing with a lot of players I played with growing up in Richmond, I just had a lot of confidence going into that. So,
Now let's talk about a little, like, the transition now out of football. So you say you've been playing football since your freshman year. Honestly, that's a little late, because I know you've been playing since like third grade. I started playing in fifth grade. So talk about the transition, you playing football since your freshman year in high school, and then now you transition out of football. So how was that process?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I'm still in that process. Like, and you'll realize when you're done, and man, I hope you can play as long as you can, but it's like, it's not even as much like you said, a football player. It's like transitioning from being an athlete to not an athlete anymore. Like, that's what you do. Because, like, no matter what anyone says, everybody wants to say football doesn't define me or sports doesn't define you. And that's true, because you have a lot of different aspects in your life. Like, I get that. But at the end of the day, when somebody asks you, hey, what are you, like, what do you do? You're going to say, I'm an athlete. Like, I'm a football player. Like, because at that time, that's who you identify with as. That might not be your whole life, but that's still who you identify as. So when I was done, and like you said, like, my situation, getting hurt and everything like that, kind of ripped my season away from me. And that was hard, man. Like, because, I wanted to go to the next level. I thought I had a decent opportunity to, get a chance. And that's all I wanted. And it hits hard, man, when because for me, it was like that. Like, I went from playing, then I got hurt, and it was like, you're done.
Yeah.
And so that, like, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, that was the hardest night of my life, bro. Like, you got so much things running through your mind. Like, this is what you put in all the effort for. This is what you worked for the last 8 years of my life since I started really putting in effort into football. Like, I came all the way to Ohio to make this move, it's a huge sacrifice. And to have that taken away from me, like, it hurts, bro. And I'm still getting over it. Like, people think that transition is going to be seamless and quick, few months. No, bro. Like, I got friends that played in 2020, 2019. They're like, man, I'm still not completely over the fact I'm not a football player anymore. And I think the biggest thing that people need to do is find different purpose in life. Like, how am I going to impact society? How am I going to live outside of being a football player? Because this is all I've done for the most part. So you got to find other avenues, other things you're passionate about that you can put time and effort into, because now you got all this time to kill. You're not playing football anymore. You don't, when you wake up in the morning, my goal isn't like, hey, I need to get my workout in to be better anymore. Now it's like, what am I going to do? Like, what do? I have all this time on my hands. Like, what am I passionate about? What are my other things? So I think that is a huge transition piece. So I would emphasize to a lot of guys playing and that are going to be done soon, open your eyes up. Like, hey, what else do I like to do? Because it don't last forever, whether you go to the league or not. It doesn't last forever. Like, what do I like to do outside of this? How do I like spending my time? How do I want to impact others, impact the community outside of just being a football player? And it takes time. It really does. Yeah. Like, I think this is great what you're doing, because now you got things you can work towards, goals when you're done playing, and it won't be as difficult to find your purpose and find your identity, because you got to find a new identity. Point blank period.
You honestly do. So now,
and it's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, bro, I'm still working on it. Like this, it was hard for me to even watch football when I was done, bro. Like, it's hard to even watch it because you'll never get that pregame feeling, bro, going out there with your guys and going to war. Like, you'll never get that again. Like, I don't care what you do, you'll never get that feeling again. Yeah. So you just got to learn to appreciate every moment, every practice, every rep, for real. It's cliche, but for real.
Yeah, I mean, it is very cliche. You hear that from the coaches, like, live in the moment. And sometimes it's hard to live in the moment, but that's honestly what you got to do, because everything's not going to last forever, man.
But when you're done, you're done. Like,
oh yeah, because like I know we went to the playoffs this past season, then like after the game, we lost. I'm like, dang, like for me personally, I feel like I took that moment for granted. I didn't live fully in that moment, the playoff game. But
yeah, I mean, but I don't think anyone really realizes how much you need to live in a moment till you have a moment like that. And that's something I've been trying to do now that I'm done. Like, I'm like, I need to really live, because you're only young for so long. Like, people need to this is a whole different stuff. People need to put their phone down and start living in the present and in the moment, yo. I see too many people at dinner and hanging out with groups, and including myself sometimes. I got to call myself out for that. Get off the phone and enjoy the moment, yo, because they go away like that. You can get your videos in to remember stuff or memories, but get off your phones and go live. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, man. Yeah. It's crazy with that stuff.
That's facts. But one thing that I've seen that you've been doing is your sketches.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, because me personally, I didn't know that you made sketches until after the football season. So talk a little bit about that, where you see that going.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I didn't even know I was really so. I had a lot of things going on in my life this fall. Fall was real tough for me personally. I had a lot of personal family things going on, football stuff, that I was in a real difficult place. Yeah. And like mentally. And I was just thinking, I was like, I need to find something to put this effort into to kill this time, to ease my mind, things like that. And one day I just sat down, I looked at a picture, I was like, I wonder if I can draw this. Like, literally just BS, because I never did it before like that. I might have drawn one thing and was like, oh, that's kind of good, but I never had the time because of football. And I sat down, I was like, hey, this is pretty good. And once you do it, it's kind of addicting. Like, you want to keep getting better. And I would look at pictures, I watch a couple YouTube videos, and I just was like, I asked my mom, I said, Mom, for Christmas, I want a sketchbook. I want some, actual stuff to draw with. Yeah. And bro, that's how it started. I was like, you know what, like, let me make a page. Like, let me see where this can go. And I've actually had a couple people reach out about buying stuff. And, wow. I want to draw my next tattoo I'm going to draw myself. And it's just something nice and something for me to express, feelings I may have that day or something like that, and be able to put it down. Because I don't like writing. Reading is okay. I'll read, but this is something I can, get some emotions and feeling out, and some enjoyable to do, and something new. Like, I started going to museums and looking at art, and you start looking at the world in a different way, and it's fun to experience new stuff like that. Yeah. So that's really been what it's been for me, and I definitely want to keep getting better. I can only really get sketches in on like my off days and some evenings, so I'm not at the pace I want to be getting better, but slowly but surely. Eventually I want to turn into some, maybe a little side hustle, things like that. So
maybe, and that's kind of, I kind of feel the same way, because I kind of feel the same way how, like, with my poetry, because I always writing, but it wasn't until like my senior year in high school, where my English teacher told me to just write a poem, was doing it in class. Then I wrote it, and that's like probably the first ever poem that I wrote. And she was so amazed, and like that really stuck with me. And I started writing even more and more and more, and fell in love with it. And now just turned it into something. So I understand that.
That's, bro. I watched it and it was good, bro. And it's like, that's to me the only bad thing about playing college sports and being so focused and locked in on one thing. I feel like a lot of athletes miss out on other talents that they never even knew they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't randomly go that one day, like, hey, let me see if I can draw this, and I got a lot of time to kill, you know, I may never even known, or who knows if I did that years ago, and then kept working on it through college and stuff like that. But that's the only bad thing, because there's so many talented people that could do so many more things outside of playing sports, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like you figuring out, you know, the YouTube channel, poetry and stuff like that. Other people with art, videos and stuff like that. There's so much talent out there that sports doesn't always let you harness. So it's good when you're done to take advantage of that time.
Yeah, it's like you look around in the locker room, like you look at everybody on your team, like they're not just football players. Like they have something else to them, and you start to find things out that you would never ever believe. Like, and it's just everybody has that talent outside of being an athlete.
Yeah, exactly. Like just the locker room in general, bro. Like you meet so many different people, find out so many different things about people just because you're in that circle of people you would never associate yourself with outside of football, but you're forced to because of the locker room, and you learn so many things and see so many different things. It's great. Honestly, I wish everybody had a locker room experience. The world would be a better place.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
world would be a much more understanding and better place, bro.
Team sports teaches you a lot. Teaches you a lot about life, in my eyes.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to deal with, you know, different people. I've seen like guys straight from the hood be best friends with country dudes just because they play the same position in the locker room, and they're like this. They would never associate with each other unless they were forced to in that situation. And they're like, oh man, you're not that different, or you're really good people.
Yeah.
So
now this is Kagelvltv. You know, the name coming from Naruto. So I have to ask you, do you watch anime?
Man, I don't. So many of my friends did. College roommate, a huge anime fan. Like I can't tell you how many times people have tried to get me into what is it? One Punch Man or the Attack on Titan, Naruto.
Yeah.
The only joint I watch and I love, and I don't even think it's considered anime, Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Okay, yeah, that's
I love that, like, to die for. Probably seen it like 5 times, and then The Legend of Korra, the show after the Avatar, and then I don't even think it's anime, but the Clone Wars animated Star Wars show on Disney Plus and stuff. I watch that, but that's about it, man. It's cool though. It's mad cool. It's just a whole lot going on. It's a lot going on. I feel like I got to spend a lot of time and really invest in those shows.
I'm not gonna, my experience with anime is like a different world. Like it's like a different, it's definitely investing time into watching anime. But I would say, you know, there are some cool characters in anime that you can maybe sketch, you know?
Hey, I was thinking about that, bro. I might have to get me a Naruto sketch in today or something, man. We'll see. Might have to tag you in it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've seen Dragon Ball Z too. Dragon Ball Z is good. I've seen some Dragon Ball Z with Goku and all them. So that joint is cool. I will say that. I will say that.
But yeah, if I would leave you with an anime recommendation to close out the interview, I would say, I'm trying to think like which anime would you like to sketch at the same time too? But like what's your TV show type? Like what do you like to see? Like you like to see fighting, a great story, a little romance,
I mean, honestly though, I haven't even been watching a lot of TV recently. But I mean, I love action. I like a good mystery too. You know, probably those two, action and good mystery. I don't even mind a little horror here and there.
Okay, I would say my recommendation would be Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. All right, I'm gonna have to.
A lot of action and a lot of mystery throughout the whole show. That's a good.
Okay.
One. And that's
I like to be surprised and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's surprised, and it's pretty hot right now. It's probably the hottest anime out right now in my eyes.
Okay. You know, I'm gonna give me a couple episodes, and I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I might have to.
Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate the interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm glad you could reach out and let me know if you want another one, man. It's been fun for sure.
Anything you want to shout out? Your socials? Anything you got going on?
Oh yeah, I mean, Jake J Brown on Instagram, man. You know, I'm not super active anymore, but you know, y'all throw me a follow. I put a little content up there, you know, so show a little bit of DC and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And follow my sketch page, Jake __ sketches. So.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. Be easy. All right.
Yeah, peace.